viewers who may not be familiar, first off, what is Discord? Why is it so popular? And also, why is it prone to this kind of behavior?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about another subject which is not entirely easy to talk about or listen to, but it's necessary and it will shock you. You may have heard recently about an investigation into Discord which has uncovered some very worrying things relating to child abduction and sextortion and things like that involving adults onto young children. Now, we're going to go over that article today and the situation as a whole because it's something that you should be aware of, especially if you have children who may be using this platform. So this is an exclusive investigation carried out by NBC News, and it starts off with Discord launched in 2015 and quickly emerged as a hub for online gamers, growing through the pandemic to become a destination for communities devolved to topics as varied as crypto trading, YouTube, gossip and K-pop. It's now used by 150 million people worldwide. So it's basically an app that's used to connect young people in particular. They are drawn to it more than most, but it's used also equally by older people as well. So basically you have the two lots mixed in together and you can create chat rooms, and they are largely, well, they're unmoderated. They're moderated only by the people who own the chat rooms. So it makes it easy for adults to connect with young people and keep them there to chat to, basically. But the app has a darker side. In hidden communities and chat rooms, adults have used the platform to groom children before abducting them, trade CSAM, and extort minors, whom they trick into sending images. In a review of international, national and local criminal complaints, news articles and law enforcement communications published since Discord was founded, NBC News identified 35 cases over the past 6 years in which adults were prosecuted on charges of kidnapping, grooming or SA that allegedly involved communications on Discord. 22 of those cases occurred during or after the COVID pandemic. At least 15 of the prosecutions have resulted in guilty pleas or verdicts, and many of the cases are still pending. So I think what they're suggesting there is that possibly due to the lockdown where kids were at home a lot more, probably online a lot more, and were targeted a lot more. And of course, those numbers only represent cases that were reported, investigated and prosecuted, because it's never easy to report these things. What we see is only the tip of the iceberg, said Stephen Sauer, the director of the tip line of the Canadian Centre for Child Protection, C3P. The cases are varied. In March, a teen was taken across state lines, ARD, and found locked in a backyard shed, according to police, after she was groomed on Discord for months. In another, a 22-year-old man kidnapped a 12-year-old after meeting her in a video game and grooming her on Discord. NBC News identified an additional 165 cases, including 4 crime rings in which adults were prosecuted for transmitting or receiving CSAM via Discord, or for allegedly using the platform to extort children into sending graphic images of themselves, also known as sextortion. It is illegal to consume or create CSAM in nearly all jurisdictions across the world, and it violates Discord's rules. Well, I would hope it would violate Discord's rules if it's illegal. At least 91 of the prosecutions have resulted in guilty pleas, or while many of the other cases are ongoing. This is quite a long article, so I'll try and cut it down a little bit for you. According to an analysis of reports made to the National Centre for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, reports of CSAM on Discord increased by 474% from 2021 to 2022. So it's gone up nearly 5 times in a year. When Discord responds and cooperates with tip lines and law enforcement, groups say the information is usually of high quality, including messages, account names, and IP addresses. But NCMEC said that the platform's responsiveness to complaints have slowed from an average of 3 days in 2021 to nearly 5 days in 2022. And other tip lines have complained that Discord's responsiveness can be unreliable. Discord has taken some steps to address child and CSAM on its platform. The company said in a transparency report that it disabled 37,102 accounts for child safety violations in the last quarter of 2022. That's a hell of a lot, that is, you know. You know what I don't get? I think we might get into that in a little bit, but I don't get is how they can identify exactly who is a problem on the platform, because grooming especially is a very difficult thing to detect. It takes messages over a long period of time to see a pattern of how they are interacting with a youngster, and you can't just tell that just off the face of a couple of messages. In an interview, Discord's Vice President of Trust and Safety, John Redgrave, said he believes the platform's approach to child safety has drastically improved since 2021, when Discord acquired his AI moderation company Sentropy. Moderation on Discord is largely left up to volunteers in each Discord community, and this is where the problem lies. Discord itself can't moderate everything because they are individual servers, like individual chats, and they have their own, they appoint their own moderators, which are probably in some cases the problem, and there's no way that Discord can moderate all these moderators. Redgrave said that whenever the company deploys moderation efforts against CSAM, though, it tries to cast a wide net and search the platform as expansively as possible. Discord was not proactive at all when I first started, Redgrave said, but since then, he said, Discord has implemented several systems to proactively detect known CSAM and analyze user behavior. Redgrave said he believes that the company now proactively detects most CSAM that's been previously identified, verified, and indexed. Discord is currently not able to automatically detect newly created CSAM that has not been indexed or messages that could provide signs of grooming. And this is a major problem. Obviously, they have some form of automatic identifier when some material's being uploaded to an external database. They manage to detect it against that material. But if it's new material that's not been indexed yet, then they can't detect it automatically. And I'd have thought that they would be able to, if I'm being honest. I'm just saying that there must be some way of detecting that if an image of a young person is uploaded like that, you know, there must be some way of them detecting that that is not right and shouldn't be on the platform. And as I said before, grooming is another issue, and is one of the major issues that they need to address, because a lot of grooming goes on Discord, and yet they can't detect it at all. They need to be able to. Now, this is where it gets really iffy and really sickening. In a review of publicly listed Discord servers created in the last month, NBC News identified 242 that appeared to market sexually explicit content of minors using thinly veiled terms like CP, that refers to CSAM. At least 15 communities directly appealed to teens themselves by claiming they are sexual communities for minors. Some of these communities had over 1,500 members. Discord allows for casual text, audio and video chat in invite-only communities called servers. Some servers are set to provide open invitations to anyone who wants to join. Discord does not require users' real identities like some other platforms and can facilitate large group video and audio chats. That infrastructure proved incredibly popular, and in the past 7 years, Discord has been integrated into nearly every corner of online life. So the whole platform has been geared towards like the gaming and the youngster community, and the fact that you can chat by video and audio is very appealing to adults as well, because they can create their own server, and it's a private server, and they can create their own and invite a child into that server, a private chat room, and just chat to them over audio or video and get them to send whatever. It's just insane to me that this is allowed to happen. And this actually sickened me. I've no words for just how bad this is. A server which was found on a website directory of Discord servers, and it's called Teen Paradise, Teen NSFW, which means not safe for work, community in need of girls. This is a community for people between the ages of 13 and 17. We trade nudes, we do events. Join us for the best teen NSW experience. It is what it says, basically. And I've never come across anything like this before myself. Words fail me, but I don't feel like words are enough to explain how bad that actually is. Sour, the C3P Tipline director, said the group had seen an increase in reports of luring children that involve Discord, which may be attractive to some people looking to exploit children given its high concentration of young people and closed off environment. It's a very closed off environment. I had my Discord server myself, and it feels like you're very sort of safe and secure, and that I think would appeal to children who want to have that environment, and it also appeals to the adults who want to get the child into that environment. It is really, really worrying. I would be concerned. Sour said predators will sometimes connect with children on other platforms like Roblox or Minecraft and move them onto Discord so they can have direct private communication. Again, the key there is the privacy, the private communication. And as it said before, you don't need to even supply your name. You don't have to verify even your age when you sign up for Discord. It's very open and yet very private. It's a worrying combination. They will often set up an individual server that really has no moderation at all to connect with a youth individual. For many families, grooming that's said to have occurred on Discord has turned into real-life nightmare, resulting in the abduction of dozens of children. In April, NBC News reported on a Utah family whose 13-year-old child was abducted, taken across state lines, and according to prosecutors, essayed after he was groomed on Discord and Twitter. In 2020, a 29-year-old man I struggle with explaining away humanity, and this one really, for some reason, it just like hit me like, what the actual F is just what, right? In 2020, a 29-year-old man advised a 12-year-old Ohio girl he met on Discord on how to kill her parents. Yep, that actually happened. When I read that first, I actually just stopped. I said, I'm like I am now. I can't explain it. What I know I can't. According to charging documents, which say the man told the girl in a Discord chat that he would pick her up after she killed them, at which point she could be his slave. Prosecutors say she attempted to burn down her house. What on actual effing F? Why? I mean, I don't mean why towards a 12-year-old, because the thing with children growing up, they're very vulnerable and they're very susceptible, some more than others, to suggestions from other people who may have got into their psyche. In this case, that's clearly what's happened. It's just to actually try to burn your house down and try and kill your parents. That's just, oh my word. The same man encouraged another minor, a 17-year-old, to cut herself and send him explicit photos and videos. Prosecutors said that the man admitted to sexually exploiting the minors. The man pled guilty and was sentenced to 27 years in prison. This happened in the US, by the way. If it had happened in the UK, this person may have got like a few years and then out off your pop. You know, it just seems a little bit like maybe we should adopt some of the US's tactics on sentencing. Just one or two, maybe. These cases illustrate another disturbing theme that watchdogs say they are seeing emerge on Discord: threats of violence towards children and the encouragement of self-harm. And that's another thing. I mean, what I can imagine that an adult looking at a vulnerable child who is susceptible to self-harm, they are probably trying to encourage them to do that, to assert control and keep the child in that frame of mind. That's sick. It really, really is sick. I'm sorry, but it is. An NCMEC report shared with NBC News found that Discord has had a huge issue over the past 2 years with an apparent organised group of offenders who have sextorted numerous child victims to produce increasingly egregious CSAM, engage in self-harm and animals and pets they have access to. I mean, they're bringing animals into it as well. This is why my brain is going at a million miles an hour. I just really can't cope with the level that these people are going to just hurt everybody around, you know, just hurt everybody. It's just un-effing believable. On dark web forums used by predators, users share tips about how to effectively deceive children on Discord. Try Discord Play the role of a generic, edgy 15-year-old and join servers, one person wrote in a chat room seen by NBC News. I got 400 videos and 1,000 plus pictures. There's even forums set up by predators to help other predators in how to groom kids. It is really, really sick. It's unbelievably sick. Seriously. Redgrave said Discord is working with Thorn, a well-known developer of anti-child exploitation technology, on models that can potentially detect grooming behavior. A Thorn representative described the project as potentially helping any platform with an upload button to detect, review, and report CSAM and other forms of SA on the internet. Currently, platforms are effectively able to detect images and videos already identified as CSAM, but they struggle with detecting new content or long-term grooming behaviors. On websites that are dedicated to listing Discord servers, people promoted their servers using variations of words with the initials CP, short for CP, like cheese pizza and casual politics. The description of the groups were often more explicit, advertising the sale of T33, you can see what that says, or teenage content. And this is obviously one of the listings on one such website. You can see that says this is an actual thing. This is actually what's happening on Discord right now. This is actually what's happening. In several servers, groups explicitly solicited minors to join not safe for work communities. One server promoted itself on a public server database saying, "This is a community for people between the ages of 13 to 17. We trade nudes, we do events. Join us for the best teen NSFW experience." That was the advert that we looked at earlier, and it's just I still can't get my head round that at all, but apparently it is a thing, and this is the thing that we need to be aware of and need to clamp down on and protect children against. The groups appear to fit into the description of child SA material production groups described by prosecutors, where adults pretend to be teens to entice real children into sharing nude images. And that is why it says this is a community for 13 to 17 year olds and we trade nudes, and they are not actually 13 to 17 years of age, but it's just really, really sick. Inside one of the groups, users directly solicited images from minors to gain access. You need to send a verification photo to the owner. It has to be nude. One user wrote in the group, "We accept only between 12 and 17 years old." So to gain access to the server, to the group, you need to submit your own picture. I don't know whether that's supposed to be of yourself, possibly. In another group which specifically claimed to accept little girls 5 to 17 only, chat channels included titles begging to have sex chat, sexting chat with the server owner, nude videos, and nudes. NBC News did not enter the channels, and CSAM was not viewed in reporting this article. I think that's important to note, because if they had done it, is actually a crime and highly immoral. So it's important that people don't think that they actually looked at the material themselves. Discord markets itself to kids and teens, advertising its functionality for school clubs on their homepage, but many of the other users on the platform are adults. The two age groups are allowed to freely mix. Some platforms, such as Instagram, have instituted restrictions on how people under 18 interact with people over 18. The platform allows anyone to make an account, and like some other platforms, ask for an email address and a birthday. Discord's policies say US users cannot join unless they are 13 years old, but has no system to verify a user's self-reported age. You can say whatever age you want to say, but there's no way of them saying, or there's no way of them telling that you're telling the truth. So, with a lot of things, you can just lie, basically. That's how a lot of under 13s started getting like Insta accounts and started getting on social media, because they said that they were 13 or 18 or whatever age when they actually weren't. Despite the closed off nature of the platform and the milieu of ages mixing on it, the platform has been transparent about its lack of oversight of the activities that occur on it. We do not monitor every server or every conversation, the platform said on a page in its safety center. Instead, the platform says it mostly waits for community members to flag issues. When we are alerted to an issue, we investigate the behavior at issue and take action. See, that is a really big problem, because if a server is made up of like-minded people and they all have one goal in mind, nobody's going to flag up any issues, because it is a closed off platform. It's a closed off server or a closed off chat room. And how are you supposed to flag an issue if you don't see the issue? And the children, if they are involved, they may not see the issue, so they're not going to flag up. It's just a really messed up way of thinking from Discord. Despite Discord's efforts to address child exploitation and CSAM on its platform, numerous watchdogs and officials said more could be done. Denton Howard, executive director of In Hope, an organisation of missing and exploited children hotlines from around the world, said the Discord's issues stem from a lack of foresight similar to other companies. Safety by design should be included from day one, not from day 100. Howard said Discord had approached In Hope and proposed being a donating partner to the organisation. After a risk assessment and consultation with the members of the group, In Hope declined the offer and pointed out areas of improvement for Discord, which included slow response times to reports, communications issues when hotlines try to reach out, hotlines receiving account warnings when they try to report CSAM, the continued hosting of communities that trade and create CSAM, and evidence disappearing before hearing back from Discord. So this organisation actually turned down Discord's involvement and money because Discord are not trustworthy enough to be involved in protection. They don't feel that like they're doing enough. Sheehan noted that NCMEC had also had difficulties working with Discord, saying that the organisation rescinded an invitation to Discord to become part of its cyber tipline roundtable discussion, which includes law enforcement and top tipline reporters, after the company failed to identify a senior child safety representative to attend. It was really questionable, their commitment to what they're doing on the child exploitation front. Detective Staff Sergeant Tim Brown of Canada's Ontario Provincial Police said that he'd similarly been met with a vexing response from the platform recently that made him question the company's practices around child safety. In April, Brown said Discord asked his department for payment after he had asked the company to preserve records related to a suspected child abuse content ring. Brown said that his department had identified a Discord server with 120 participants that was sharing child SA material. When police asked Discord to preserve the records for their investigation, Discord suggested that it would cost an unspecified amount of money. In an email from Discord to the Ontario Police, viewed by NBC News, Discord's legal team wrote, "The number of accounts you've requested on your preservation is too voluminous to be readily accessible to Discord. It would be overly burdensome to search for or retrieve data that might exist. If you pursue having Discord search for and produce this information, first we will need to discuss being reimbursed for the costs associated with the search and production of over 20 identifiers. So basically what they're saying there is it would be too time consuming for them to search for the information that's required by police to protect people on their own platform, and they're going to want some money back for the time that's going to take them to, find this information out. I have no words for that, if I'm being honest. No words. Brown said he had never seen another social media company asked to be reimbursed for maintaining potential evidence before. Brown said that his department eventually submitted an individual request for each identifier, which were accepted by Discord without payment, but that the process took time away from other parts of the investigation. Redgrave said the company routinely asks law enforcement to narrow the scope of information requests, but the request for payment was an error. This is not part of our response process. I'm sure it's not. And that is unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. What we've just been through there shows that there is a huge problem on Discord. Always look for signs in your child which doesn't look normal, which doesn't look like them. If they are acting withdrawn and they are not talking to you or they're acting differently in any way, just monitor them and keep an eye on what they are doing on social media. Social media has a lot to answer for so many different things, and there's so many different problems that arise. In this instance, we've got Discord, where you've got actual adults telling children to kill their parents so that he can run off with her. It just blows my mind that is even a thing that is uttered by another human being, but apparently it is. So with that being said, please don't have nightmares. Until next time, please give this video a thumbs up, comment everything you want to comment about the situation down below, and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.